Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Spin your passion into a business with Shopify and break sales records with the world's best converting checkout. Let's hear that one more time. The world's best converting checkout. Shopify's legendary checkout makes it easier for customers to shop on your website, across social media, and everywhere in between. Now that's music to your ears. Any way you spin it, you can be a smash hit with Shopify. Start your $1 a month trial today at shopify.com/records.
Spike's Car Radio starts now.
The Doobie Brothers. And I'm here with my Doobie Brothers, except we're smoking cigar doobies. We got Zuckerman and Lieberswine. Yoink. This song is called Another Park. Another Sunrise. Another Park, Another Sunday, sorry. Fabulous little driving song. And you may have noticed we had a new announcement.
Yes.
What did you think, guys? That's our new announcer.
What a voice.
Eddie Sweeney from Japan.
Doesn't sound Japanese.
He may be. I don't know much about him. He reached out. He listens to the show. He said, I think I could do your voiceover, opening voiceover better. I said, I bet you can. That's the VO from Podcast One Days. And I said, go ahead, give it a shot. I need it to be short. I think that thing's way too long. That was back when we had to say, oh, yeah, Spike Furs, comedian, Corga, blah, 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 blah.
Cars and coffee.
Nobody has time for it anymore.
That's right.
I said, I just want Spike's Car Radio starts now.
Mr. Sweeney.
Eddie Sweeney did it, and I said, boy, your voice is great. And this is all DM on Instagram. He said, well, I'm the voice of Audi and the voice of Mitsubishi out there, as well as TikTok Japan. I do voiceovers for them, and it's his hobby. And he's great. And he put the Knight Rider music under it.
I mean, if you're doing TikTok Japan, it's not really a hobby.
It's not
anymore.
really a hobby.
Yeah,
he might,
you're a pro.
Well, you get paid.
Yeah.
This is a professional podcast. None of us are doing it as our regular job.
All right, fair.
And he's got a little outro, and he's got little jokes that I wrote for him to put in the outro. I'm going to have him do, because I like it so much, I'm going to have him do all this stuff, specific intros for us, featuring Zuckerman. Give me the money. No. Johnny Lieberman. I don't know why I do this show.
What the fuck am I doing here?
Rufus the dog.
He just ate a paper towel.
Richard the Pooper.
He's eating a plant. Richard the Pooper. There's jelly on the carpet. And
Richard.
And I'm excited. The show just grew by one guy.
What could go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. Having a voiceover guy is very useful. You'll see.
I agree.
We'll be able to do a lot of stuff. This is bigger than the sound buttons that I have here. when I got the applause, I was very excited. And then the next day I said, hey, look, I got a new one. It's a laugh. And then the next day everybody complained. But one wise listener did say they'll get bored with that and stop. And they were right. Whoever said that, but not the announcer.
I mean, we can keep it fresh. Keep it fresh.
Yeah, we'll keep it fresh.
Rolling.
Anyway, terrific show for you. We're excited. Where did I start last time? We were talking about
Beckham.
Oh no, there was something before that. I thought
Sweeney the announcer. We went right into Beckham.
Wasn't there something from last week that we were talking about that I wanted to catch you up on? I guess not.
Don't talk over the ad.
Don't talk over the ad. No,
don't say anything.
Don't
bad.
make derogatory comments about the people who are paying, who love us.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
David Beckham. This documentary on Netflix. I just want you guys to check it out. You guys listening, you probably have. If you haven't, check out the first 30 minutes of this. You might not even have to watch anymore. But what a story! The story of this kid who's working class British kid. Obsessed with soccer. Dad's obsessed with soccer. If you're a dad with a kid who plays sports, you can totally relate to this. This kid, all he wants to do, the parents don't make money, is play soccer. Every gift, every birthday, every Christmas, it's soccer, soccer, soccer. He turns out to be a great player and gets signed by, I guess it Manchester United. I don't even know anything. I think it's Manchester United. They suck, but they have this new coach. The story is incredible. He's 17. He jumps onto the pitch, onto the field, and scores for his first outing as a professional soccer player with that face. And then he also does this shot, I guess, from half field that no one has ever pulled off in a game. I guess Pele tried to kick from the halfway, like the half court, and get it in. And if you do it and miss, it's apparently the most embarrassing thing you can do in tennis. I mean, in soccer.
And in tennis.
Yeah, you're kicking in tennis. You're in big trouble. And he makes it. And he is an instant sensation in a sport that doesn't want instant sensations.
Right.
They want a guy to marry a local girl, drive a sensible car, and then go live a quiet life. And he's a star, right? So why I'm bringing this up is very quickly, he starts making a little bit of money, and he spends it. He gets it Friday. He spends it Saturday on cars. The first one being, I think it was a purple. I'm not sure, or a lighter blue. I didn't know the color.
Aubergine.
993. It looked like a C2S. Might have been a turbo. I was eating lunch. After he gets a car, the next week, he takes all his money, all of it, Zuckerman, buys a watch.
Smart man.
Because I just want cars and watches.
Yeah.
And in England, it's kind of like that HBO show Winning Time when basketball was kind of normal and then playground ball started and showmanship started with the Lakers. The same thing goes on with him. He starts driving these cars and wearing these watches to the game. And everybody's like, they have to up their game and their car game. But he's one of our tribe.
And speaking of tribe,
yes,
he does proclaim himself to be part Jewish or half Jewish, and that makes no sense given his looks and athleticism. That makes zero sense.
Absolutely zero sense.
0 cents, but he claims it.
He's got kind of a pretty girl face.
And voice.
And he meets that posh Beckham. He's watching TV and he sees the Spice Girls with his lads. They're drinking a beer and they're watching the Spice Girls on TV in their first video, and he goes, I'm going to marry that girl. Like a lot of people, a lot of guys who watch girls on, I'm going to marry that girl. Except he does. He's very shy. He shows up to a game. She's there. They say the Spice Girls are there in the locker room. And he goes, which ones? This one and Posh Spice. And he goes, oh, that's the one. And very quickly, he meets her and they fall in love.
Cinderella and Prince
And this
Charming.
girl, Zuckerman, I mean, the whole story is fantastic. He's such a humble guy, working class guy, no bullshit guy. They're interviewing his wife now.
No, this is the only part I've seen. This made the viral rounds.
Right. And she's talking about what a working class girl she was, growing up in a working class family. He just barges into the shoot and goes, tell the truth. What does your dad drive? Tell the truth.
And she won't answer.
Tell the truth.
She won't answer.
Because in that moment, it is the ballsiest thing in the world for a husband.
She took it well, though.
She takes it incredibly well, and she goes, my dad drove us in a Rolls Royce.
It was a fun moment. It made him
It's a fun moment, but Zuckerman, you know, a wife never wants you to correct. You cannot
contradict your wife.
At a dinner party, or you don't do that. It's not right, and you shouldn't. Yet he's doing it right.
On camera.
On camera on a shoot.
That's great.
So they must be really tight. It all sounds so corny, but I swear I ended up loving this guy. I thought I knew him through his persona. You know, he likes Tudor watches, and I'd see him at the Soul Cycle and stuff. And I'm like, kind of a douchey guy with tattoos and stuff. But no, really a really cool guy who... I feel bad that we don't know him, that he hasn't been on this show.
Let's reach out. If any of our listeners know David,
He always said that.
David Jewish Beckham.
I can make formal... I can reach out to anybody.
Through his rabbi?
No.
His moil.
Exactly. I reached out to our friend Riff Raff through his publicist. No.
He is Jewish. You know, Riff Raff's actually Jewish.
He is not Jewish, is he?
Yeah, he's Jewish.
I think his real name is Jody. He DM'd me. He DM'd me the other day and said, "Send me your phone number."
Oh, stars!
And
I wasn't the roof.
I wasn't sure I should give it to him, but I did.
You shouldn't. That's great.
And I haven't heard from him, but he's coming in November.
Okay.
And I told his publicist we're huge fans of the music, and how would he like to come and get in a Rolls Royce and hang with us and come on the show when he's here performing in November. So we'll see.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Stars in the Roof.
Riff Raff. That song is so addicting, I had to take it off all of my playlists. I play it for the kids. They go, no, not again. I don't want it stuck in my head. You know, the quality of a hit song. That's what you want, I guess. This wasn't the only celebrity Porsche story that I had for you today. John Stamos.
Another Mr. Handsome.
This is really fun. It's just like all Porsche is just in the news, all this weird celebrity news. He's got a new autobiography, and he tells the story of his catching his girlfriend cheating on him back in the day.
Whoa, on him.
Yeah.
Oh, with somebody big, too.
It was a girl. I don't remember her name, but she was a dancer. He was wildly in love with her, and he would travel, and they would talk, and they were close, but then he started traveling, and it's weird. I don't know. I don't have the book, so I don't know, but he said, I'd be traveling on an appearance or to appear at a car show, which I don't. What are the John Stamos car shows? But piqued my interest. And I'd call her, no cell phones, I guess, back in the day, and suddenly she wasn't running to the phone after one ring. Suddenly she was not picking up the phone for like a day or more.
Ooh.
And then when I got back, I tried to reach her, and she didn't pick up. So I decided to drive over to her little place in the valley. And I'm just remembering the story as I read it today. All the lights were off, but there was a Porsche Speedster in the driveway. And I looked around the house. The doors were locked, but she had this little studio in the back, so I went to the backyard.
This sounds like what OJ did.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same, except for the Speedster. And the door was open, but the lights were off, and I saw 2 pair of feet sticking out from under the blanket, and a poster I had never seen of my girlfriend in her underwear saying, "This is for you, Tony. I love you."
And it was Tony Danza.
You just blew the end of my story.
Well, then cut it out.
Why would you do that?
It just came to mind. I was just a guess.
I think it worked well for the radio. I think we're okay.
But this is what he did. He saw he did the math I think we all do. Do I rush in? Do I beat up, pummel this guy? Do I stab this guy?
Tony Danza would kill.
OJ
Would kill.
Erase Tony Danza from your brains
Okay.
because it's not relevant to this story.
It isn't.
It wasn't until he's driving home listening to Elton John that Stamos realized the name of his rival. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. Now, I don't believe that part of the story.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Why? How did he get that from Elton John, Tony Danza?
I have no idea.
That seems completely made up and fabricated.
Handle in the wind.
The reason I bring it up is there's a black 1957 Porsche 356 Tony Danza Speedster somewhere in the world.
Yes.
You have one, Zuckerman.
A 58, but still. Black.
Do we think that is a valuable speedster?
Now it is.
The Danza Speedster.
The Danza.
The Tony Palooka Speedster.
Oh.
Suddenly, yeah.
Ew.
Hey.
Not the coolest guy in the world. But look, he wasn't married, right? That's just a girl dating. But again, is Tony Danza... Does he bring value to the speedster because of this story?
I think because of the story, yeah. Suddenly.
Like what?
I can hear Bruce Canepa telling this story as he tells you that the Speedster was worth an extra 100,000 more.
Why is that one worth?
Yes, it's got a story.
More? Well,
it has a story.
John Stamos and Tony Danza.
This happened to a friend of mine where the husband came in on
Tony
him.
Danza?
Hold up. Let him talk.
Not with Tony Danza, but he was with a girl. The husband came home, and it ended with him in his boxer shorts comforting the crying husband who was hugging him and crying on his shoulder.
Wow.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Who got the girl? The crier or the comforter?
The comforter left. He left the crier and the girl behind, and was happy that because he didn't know if he was going to get killed, if what was going to happen.
Yeah.
The last thing he thought was that he would end up holding a crying man and comforting him.
That's the last thing. Because
Why do guys think they can kill if somebody, that they think that's the move? That's the thing that occurs to you is you've got to kill this person. That seems weird that you would first go to kill.
You would kill her.
No, kill nobody.
No, Zuckerman.
You could feel depressed and go, my relationship's over, and walk away. I think Stamos made the right move.
He drove off.
You drive off. It's over. It's done.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill anybody.
You slash a tire.
They deserve,
They deserve each
Not
other.
on a speedster.
Well, it's just, you're not hurting the speedster. just
even
the
that
tire.
even that move is good on Stamos' part, I think.
Slash the neighbor's tire. You got to slash a tire.
How about nothing? Why do you have to do anything?
You don't have to do anything.
I mean, nowadays, I think kids would make a TikTok or something and go, I caught my girlfriend cheating, and this is the speedster.
Now I'm
And
going
then
to
maybe
ruin her
just
life.
put his hand on it and leave a handprint on it. That's better.
Yeah, I don't know. The comforting. That's like, I might have been in a situation like that where I walked out of a house in my boxers, but like there was no comforting going on.
What do you mean?
A husband came home and I had to.
A husband?
Yeah.
And you were with the wife?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Leave him in.
All right.
Swine.
You can't drop bombs like this. Is like when you said I have a tattoo we didn't know about.
Well, I have a tattoo. I mean,
Of a penis. On your stomach.
Hold on. Who was the girl? When did this happen? What were the
come on,
circumstances?
Dish.
over 20 years
Doesn't
ago.
matter, Dish.
No, nothing. I was a woman, and the husband came home.
What was his name?
No, you don't have to. Don't say
Yeah,
that.
no
Don't
names,
say that.
no
But
names.
were you younger? What age?
Yeah, I was 25,
And how old was she?
30 something.
Right.
Yeah.
And she said what to you to get Johnny Lieberman?
What do you mean?
Pastrami.
What did she say to seduce you? Did she say, "Look, I'm married, but I want to have sex with you"? Or
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the specifics.
And where
I'll
did you
make you
meet
a
her?
sandwich.
We were at her house.
You met her at her house?
Oh, we're friends. I mean, it's really kind of a 2 + 2
Oh,
situation.
so you were friends.
Yeah.
And she said, "Look, my husband's not home tonight. Come over."
This afternoon. Yeah.
and we're gonna.
Yeah. I mean, there's more to it than that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in bed. Did you complete the act?
Oh yeah.
You had completed
we
the
were
act.
laying there, and then it was like.
And
oh,
what were you
shit.
doing when you're laying there? You're just chatting.
Yeah.
And you're fully naked.
Postcoital. Yeah, probably.
What did you have the tattoo with that?
Yes, I got the,
Okay, so you
I
have
told
the
you I got the tattoo the day after high school.
Okay. And then what did you hear? Come on, take us through the story.
Like we heard his car and he was like screaming and yelling, and I
Wait,
was
wait, back up. You heard his car.
Yeah.
How did he know you were there?
because he saw my car.
Did he
And
know
he-
who you were?
Yes,
And he
yes.
immediately deduced that you were in bed with his wife,
yeah,
or
it's a
he went
longer
Johnny's
story.
visiting.
It's a longer story than that, but yes, he knew why I was there.
How?
Anyways,
This was so you were. You had been a partner with her before.
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, this has been going on, and
Right.
yeah,
They were
And he
swingers.
knew-
They were yes,
They
thank
were
you.
swingers.
Oh,
You had
more open, yeah,
More open. They had an open
Yeah,
relationship.
but it was a whole thing. Anyways,
But you were never supposed to have
you're there
sex.
alone.
Hold on. Yeah.
yeah,
without,
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Let's just try not to talk over each other. We're in a
Yes.
good spot right now.
Yes, something
Yes.
like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So he saw the car and he knew exactly.
Yes, and then I had to like walk out quick, and I put on my boxers and a t-shirt and just got in my car and went home.
That was it.
I was carrying my jeans.
He didn't-
that was the end of it. Yeah.
He didn't try to fight you.
No, I would have killed him. No, there was. When I was 25, I was a lot.
Did they invite you back again?
No. It was all well. When we're done recording, I'll tell you the whole story. But yeah, so
I think we just heard the whole story.
that's basically
We heard enough.
What we
the
just
end of
learned
it.
is Johnny was a swinger when he was younger.
With his penis tattoo on his stomach.
Yes, that's what we learned. Speaking of penis tattoos, let's talk about Hero Bread. It is also soft and fluffy, like Johnny's delicious penis. It's bread with benefits. Our line of baked goods offers 1G net, sometimes 0 net carbs, 0 sugar, high fiber, and 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving. Hero empowers you to enjoy your favorite baked goods all day long. A soft breakfast burrito in the morning, a fresh and crispy BLT at lunch, and a juicy patty on a full, fluffy bun to wrap up your day. As I said before, Taco Tuesday in the First household. Hero tortillas, way better, way healthier. They taste good, The whole thing comes in a box. You got the box too, right?
I got the box.
It's a pretty exciting box.
It's a big box
It's
of
the
bread.
size of a coffee table.
It's humongous. Yeah, my wife was like, get it out of the house.
I love boxes coming to the house because I never know what's in it, and they always tuck in surprises.
You have a big house, so, you know.
It's delightful.
That took up my entire kitchen, that box.
And they gave me the hamburger rolls and the hot dog buns this time, and they were delicious. Because I can't tell you how many times somebody in my house is buying the healthy hot dog bun that's as hard as a cushion. And
This is light and airy.
the kids eat a quarter of the hot dog, but no, not with Hero Bread. They down the whole deal. You guys got to check it out. These guys are Porsche fans. They're friends of ours. They're part of our clan. Go to hero.co. Just go check them out. Hero.co. You're going to get 10% off your first order using code SPIKE911. Definitely go there for your first barbecue. If you're going to have a barbecue soon, Halloween party, go down, get some Hero Bread for the burgers and the hot dogs. If you don't want to go there, you can buy their bread on Amazon.com, at Walmart, Kroger, or at Sprouts nationwide, because Hero is there too. They're killing it. There you go, Hero Bread.
Nice.
You're our heroes. Blue Chew's a little later, so stick around for that.
We're going to go from light and airy to dense and hard.
Like Zuckerman's tattoo. Like Zuckerman's appendix scar.
A lot of folks from Australia wrote in and said, hey, we have cameras that not only detect speed, they detect seat belts.
Oh, shit.
So I got the link and I took a look, and Zuckerman, what they do is they put a camera up high looking down, and they can see right into the car, and they have a picture of some Australian dude on his phone. If you're not wearing a seatbelt, $370 fine.
Jeez.
If you are playing with your phone, fines start at $555.
Yeah, but that's Australian dollars.
So $500, and then with a penalty of 4 demerits.
Oh,
whatever demerit point is.
Oh, those demerits. I'm so scared of demerits.
You have to stay after school.
I look. I would live there just based on this. That they're trying to stop that. I think that's fantastic.
You know,
but
they
you're
have
right.
a national speed limit of 70, and if you go 71, you get a ticket. I mean, it's really
How many
bad there.
demerits for that one?
There's a lot of demerits. It's bad. Australians hate what's going on with the cameras.
You know, I had
there.
a messed up, not messed up, but the childhood, there was, how would you say, inconsistent parenting. As far as discipline, inconsistency. You know, whenever a kid's going awry, you have to set up the rules of discipline, then you have to follow up, right?
Yes.
Fats was great for that meeting presentation.
Yes.
And I'm bringing this up because he used the word demerits. He created an insane chart, which he taped to the front of the refrigerator, and he outlined all the possible crimes the kids could commit and how many
Really?
demerits you would get for each one. The whole meeting, the three of us, Beth, myself, my sister, and brother, were just like, what is a demerit? What is he talking about? And, you know, you're raising your hand going, so what happens if you get 17 demerits? Well, then you're not going out on Saturday morning from 9. He had really overthought the whole system. And my brother started getting really upset about it. And I said, Wally, don't worry, this guy's not going to follow up. He will not follow up by tomorrow morning. There won't be any demerits or any system. And sure enough, the next day, everything had been forgotten about. We were doing all the things that we were not supposed to be doing, and no demerits.
Yeah,
but I do
fantastic
remember
story.
that word demerit. I do remember. No, I learned from it with my kids. I'm predisposed to now.
That's the problem.
Not follow
If you
through.
make a threat, you gotta actually if you say no TV for a day, that means you gotta parent for a whole day. It sucks.
It's a punishment on you when you take away the
it
things that
sucks.
keep them away from you.
Yeah.
My father was very consistent about discipline. Once I reached the age of 13, my mother would say, go into your father's office and he's going to talk to you. And then he'd look pained, and then say, would you like a cigarette? And then we'd sit there and smoke.
Are you? How old were you?
Anytime after 13. And we'd smoke a cigarette, and then we figured that was sufficient time for him to have disciplined me and said whatever he needed to say, and that was it.
Wow.
Jesus.
What have your therapists over the years
How
said
did
about
I
that?
not know this story?
How did I not know about the demerits? You know how many times
The
me and my-
cigarette's a little different than a demerit system.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
both.
Was there out? When did he
really
start
good.
serving you drinks?
We never had the drinks. He was not that interested.
It was
in the
just a
drink.
cigarette.
He loved cigarettes, so he figured as long as he,
Yeah.
you know, we were going to be sitting there in silence because he didn't know what to say to kids. We might as well be smoking, using our time usefully.
Wow.
Yeah, we just smoked.
What kind of cigarettes did he smoke?
Marlboro Reds, of course, real cancer sticks.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
Winston's were the ones Fat smoked.
Yeah, he was a rugged fellow.
He was a rugged fellow.
Individualist.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette.
Hello, Winston.
His own
Rugged.
bootstraps.
Yeah.
Did he have any idea that what he was smoking was going to kill him?
Oh yeah, but he couldn't stop.
But,
couldn't
so he
stop.
knew.
And he'd say, yes, he was just so
Was he a
addicted.
doctor?
Yes.
He was a doctor.
He was a doctor, and he was so woefully addicted to cigarettes, packs a day, mountains of cigarettes.
How many packs?
Biggest, probably 3.
Oh, so he lit a cigarette off the other cigarette.
Yeah, frequently he had
Yeah.
more than one cigarette going.
Yeah, yeah. That's,
He
yeah.
had. He
What was the car like?
I swear to you, he smoked every second he was in the car, and he would be lost in space thinking. And his hand was on the 2 o'clock with the cigarette in it. And by the time, after 2 years, when it was time to turn the car in, he had chemically changed the glass over
Right.
over that part of the steering wheel.
Unreal.
And they would call after he turned it in and say, "We can't clean this glass. What did you do to the glass, Dr.
Oh, no.
Zuckerman?" And
Wow.
he'd smoke. It was smoked glass.
That's
Now,
amazing.
Yeah.
Did he burn? Did he empty his ashtray?
Oh no! It was everywhere. There were holes
Yeah,
all over
yeah,
the
yeah.
carpet. You know that.
Yeah, that's
there
what
was
Fats
the
did.
back seat where somebody went to flick it out the window. It flew in the back seat.
Yeah, yeah.
Set the
Did
seat.
you ever lose a car for the car fire?
No, he never lost a car for a car fire, but it was a mess. And then his technique was at other times was to, when he was done abusing the car, to give it to my poor mother, and then she'd have to drive it for a while, trying to get the clouded glass cleaned and get the car cleaned and do things to rehab it, which would never quite work. Harvey was really a wrecker with his cigarettes.
Yeah.
And you know, my discipline, if he did say a word over the cigarette, he would say, you know, you really got to think about your actions and decide what's wrong or what's right. And that was
it.
That was it.
Smoke up, Paulie.
Yeah.
Do you think it's right, Dad? You give me cigarettes? Is that wrong or right? Do you thinking about
Yeah.
that action?
There wasn't a lot of direction. There wasn't a lot of parental direction.
Did you have the experience I had where when they got a new car, you had 24 hours to enjoy the smell before it was ruined by your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? I remember he took down a Ford Granada so quick. Beautiful silver car with red velvet interior.
See, my dad didn't smoke and missed out on all this.
Just done.
Miss out 'cause-
And he would
tried-
drive around with the windows up. Just go stop
That's
complaining.
the craziest. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's just nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a time they were really committed to the act of smoking.
Yeah.
We were at the bus stop at the bottom of the road. My father came in once in the morning after being up all night at the hospital, taking the turn into the street, it was snowy and icy, and he smashed into the stop sign, got out and said, "Fuck." drove off and all. Well, I was embarrassed, and all my friends said, "Your dad's so cool."
Wow.
Yeah.
But that generation of doctors, they all chain smoked. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, they were dumb.
Sometimes
Huh?
watch Titicut Follies.
Yeah.
I think is the name of that.
Yeah, was that Errol Morris's first documentary?
Well, notably Bridgewater, right next
Yeah.
door to West Bridgewater.
yeah,
Correctional
where they had the
Institute.
mental hospital.
And there's a guy, force feeding? What do they call that? They're
Well,
putting the funnel in his mouth.
It's called force feeding or making pate.
And he's got
Boys, groys.
and he's got that long cigarette ash hanging over the funnel while he's talking to the camera. You're just like, oh my God.
My dad worked at a mental hospital. No? All right, fine. Go.
That explains all. Okay.
Explains a ton.
He was
I have a
research
Subaru
psychologist.
I have a Subaru Outback Wilderness.
What do you think?
To chat about my third, I believe, Subaru press car. I continue to love Subarus and love the cloaking device they are in LA. This was uniquely LA, but in this ecosystem, I can just be normal.
Yeah.
And again, on the way here, I made some questionable moves. You know, when 2 lanes go to 1 and you ride all the way up the right, did it twice on the 10, and I did it close to Obama Boulevard here. everybody just lets you. Nobody beeps. They just love you because you're in
It's the Subaru.
the Subaru.
Was it the Klingons or the Vulcans that had the cloaking device?
The Vulcans.
Or the Romulans?
Shit. Oh, wow.
None of us are true.
What do you like about it besides the
it's
invisibility?
Look, I'm getting acquainted with the whole Subaru line. I had no idea how much bigger the Outback was than the Crosstrek first. Not sure I like that, but it's quicker. I thought it's definitely a 4 of some kind. It's probably an inline 4, right, with a turbo?
Yeah, it's a turbo 4.
But it's faster, approaching almost like a 6. So it's like this thing actually has some giddy up. It actually goes a little bit.
270 horsepower,
260.
like that. 260.
277 foot-pounds of torque, 9.5 inches of ground clearance because it's that wilderness spec with a skid plate, enhanced X mode, water. Here's what I really love about it: the water repellent StarTex upholstery, which means the seat, which means I can get in that thing drenched from tennis, and I don't put the towel
Urine.
down. Any other car, I throw a towel in because I don't want it. This thing, no problem
Your
whatsoever.
sweat just pools on the carpet.
Harman Kardon premium audio, which is okay. It sounds pretty good, little tinny. The touch screen and the interface is giving me a little bit of a hassle, but whatever. That could be my phone too. But I drove here with their self-driving tech, not self-driving, or their level 2 driver.
Yeah, eyesight. Yeah.
Eyesight. It worked great.
Yeah.
Because I had a ton of traffic and the whole thing took over. It wasn't too concerned with my hand not being on the wheel. But I had to put it there, but it didn't annoy me every 5 seconds about it.
What's great about eyesight is for that price point, it really does provide a lot of safety functionality.
It does.
That system saved my life one time.
Yeah,
So
and I
it's
can tell
good.
you why, right?
Yeah.
It's those 2 lights.
Well, this was one of those where back in the DirecTV days, the guy was supposed to show up to do it, and I was on a press trip driving it was a Forester. Wife calls, the guy said he'd be here between 8 and noon. He's not here, blah, blah, blah. And a dog ran out in front of the car in front of me.
Wow.
And I didn't see that. And the car just stopped to not hit the dog. And I was screaming at my wife. She's screaming at me. And the Subaru stopped. And it was because of eyesight. So I was always
this has
that's a
2
good system.
kind of robot lights that are yellow, red, and green right here in front of your steering wheel. Almost like they're little Christmas bulbs that anytime you veer out of a lane, they light up. Anytime you're in the self-driving mode or the cruise control, they're green. Everything is kind of nice, and if you're coming up on somebody too quick, it pops up. But it's right in the perfect little eyeline spot, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But this is an off-road thing, right?
Yeah. It's pretty good off-road. It's pretty good.
What is symmetrical all-wheel drive?
Well, that just means all-wheel drive. It means 50-50 torque distribution out of the center diff. That's all that means.
And it has nice set off-road wheels and all-terrain tires.
Yeah, Geolanders are good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the kids all love it.
Cool.
I let Jack drive it. Jack had his first drive back from his school on Sunset. And you know how Sunset has turns. There are 2 places I'm most afraid of these kids driving. It's Sunset Boulevard from the 405 West.
Right.
3 places: PCH and then 405. The insanity of the 405.
Yeah.
But we clicked off our first one. Our first.
How'd he do?
Sunset Drive. Terrific.
Was he nervous?
He flies. He was nervous, but he flies. It was a different kind of thing, but that's what I said. How can you be nervous when you're up in a plane flying around like that?
There's nothing to hit in a plane.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said.
Ground.
But it was the same thing I think people do when they race. I said, "Where's your eye line?" He goes, "Kind of right in front of the car." And I go, "That's what I'm nosing."
Pick it up. Pick it up.
Look up, relax, you'll be fine. But it was cool.
Great.
But I don't know how much I should be. He wants me to take him on the 405 out to some lacrosse thing. Is that how quickly you put Dell in?
Absolutely. One day I made him we went down PCH to the 10, to the 405, up to the 101, and did this whole loop. And I said, there you go. You've conquered all of the worst freeways.
So you just got to dive in.
Just dive in. Yep.
Okay. I'll do that. You sure?
Yeah.
You don't start them small in the neighborhoods.
No.
Freeways are good because there's no cross traffic. You know what I mean? It's pretty safe, relatively speaking.
It's the thing they're afraid of, so you want to get him on even for just a little bit.
Okay. I'll do it.
He'll be fine. He's a big kid. Give him some cigarettes.
That's right.
Let him go.
He already smokes. know what I might give him, though, is some AG1. AG1! We take it daily in my house. Everybody's on it now. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs, like gut optimization. If only Zuckerman had taken it before last week. And his cinnamon bun-size appendix that they extricated through his belly button. He was showing me his holes.
Hey.
Before the show started. And he said, were these the size of your holes? Because I had my appendix out last year.
What a treat.
No, sir, they would not. I go, why are they that big? Why, Zuckerman?
Dr. Marcus told me, he goes, well, your appendix was very inflamed. Why? We had to make a big hole to get it out. It was like a cinnamon roll.
And for those of you not up to speed, an appendix is about the size of your pinky.
Yeah. And he was referring to Cinnabon.
If only you had had AG1.
To sprinkle on that and make a meal of it.
Because everybody knows I don't like to take all those pills in the morning. I hate it. All the vitamin Bs, all that stuff. Well, now all I do is I get a cup of water, I dump my AG1 in there, and I'm good to go. I drink it, and it's got that green drink taste that I absolutely love. Erica Ferriston, all over it. I clean her AG1 containers now, just to be a good husband. I clean her favorite containers. She has a little coffee one, and then now an AG1, and I make sure that's done, so she's happy. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs. That's Richard. Richard's here with a new haircut. With your first purchase, go to drinkag1.com/spike911. That's drinkag1.com/spike911 and check it out. They're big fans of ours. All right, this clears the path for Blue Chew.
Here we are.
So Richard's back. This has been the quietest, and Rufus is here, and he's sleeping.
She is sleeping.
She,
goes to bed.
right.
8 o'clock is bedtime. Mm-hmm. So she likes, you lost your cigar, Ferriston.
I'm having trouble with this cigar. This is I
Is it a phony?
I almost didn't bring a Bolivar. No, it's one of my Bill's Bolivars. And I almost didn't bring it because it's hard to draw on. I thought it had been over humidified, and I corrected that, and it's been about a month, and now here I am again, having trouble.
I couldn't be more pleased about the return of Blue Chew and the success our listeners are giving us.
They're great. That's why everybody wants to advertise on the show. Listeners go and check stuff out. I was asked about Blue Chew by my tennis coach.
Really?
Yeah, he asked me about it.
Was this during volley?
Yes.
Or when you come up to the net to talk?
It was when we pick up the balls. In tennis, you hit until the balls are done, and then everybody has to pick up. And, if you're an old man like me, you're like, leaning over. And he's saying, tell me about that Blue Chew.
Really?
Sign him
Just
up.
like a commercial.
Sure. I think people get excited about it. All right, this week in Zuckerman News. Here's a new segment. Let me bring up some applause for the new segment. This week in Zuckerman News. I've got to turn to the page. This week in Zuckerman News are stories that I pull from today's headlines that I know will entertain Zuckerman.
Can't wait.
Of which there are many all the time. Story number 1. I don't know if you heard. I'm sure somebody sent it to you, Zuckerman. An EasyJet flight was canceled after someone with unclear motives pooped on the bathroom floor of the plane. This one covered by Jalopnik, our friends there. Hold on. The latest incident on the EasyJet flight, and it feels like an important reminder. Oh, this is the article. They were flying from the Spanish island of Tenerife to London's Gatwick Airport. Someone decided to use the floor of the bathroom before they took off to make, as Jalopnik puts it, a poopy. CNN reported they spoke with a passenger on the plane who was seated in the middle of the aircraft. He told them that he saw 2 passengers go to the bathroom at the front of the airplane. Soon after, word began spreading that someone had shat all over the bathroom floor.
Excellent.
Very British. Supporting the rumors, an unpleasant smell soon followed. They brought in a cleaning crew, and then there was an announcement the cleaning crew can't do this right now. We're grounding the plane. Everybody off. What is happening,
Okay.
Zuckerman? Why are people pooping on the floor of planes?
I'm going to tell you why. It's an expression of dissatisfaction. If I remember the story correctly, they
Yes.
had these people on the runway for hours
They did.
on end, endless hours of heat, of exhaustion with no explanation. And I think that finally somebody said they're treating us like shit.
Yeah.
I'll shit. And these are English people.
Oh, wait. So you're saying there was a long wait
Oh, yeah.
before.
Oh, yeah.
And you're saying French people wouldn't do this?
No, man. Don't you remember this thing like 10 years ago? Where all the English holiday guys, they would go to Crete or Mallorca or wherever, and someone would poop in the pool.
No.
Yes,
But I like it.
yes, and then yes, that's a.
That's a pretty good theory. I think you might be right.
I know I'm right.
But then, aren't they screwing themselves? They
Well, I
go
don't think
anywhere.
that they realized that this was going to be. I don't think they thought through
Why
the whole act.
Why two guys though? I couldn't
think-
tell if he was saying. He says two people went. They didn't say they went together. He could have been saying I saw one person, then the second person.
Right,
go
or he could have been
in.
saying,
Or
we don't really know who the cagón was, as they say in Spanish, who the big shitter was.
the cagón.
Cagón
Does that really translate to big shitter?
Yes.
Cagón.
You cagón.
Yeah.
You're a cagón.
Cago is shit.
Yeah, so C-A-G-O-N-E, cagón. So they didn't know which one it was, but, you know.
It could have been both, though.
Yeah, people are really tired of being treated like shit. You realize air travel takes longer now than it did 50 years ago.
Oh, it's horrible.
50 years ago, they could get you cross country faster on a 707 than they can do today with a 777, 767, whatever it is. We are going in reverse
Yeah.
as a society.
Here's my second story, which I doubt you've seen this story, Zarkin, but you'll enjoy.
I know all poop stories.
An Arkansas cop last Sunday morning spotted a suspicious car parked outside a commercial storage facility that had been broken into 16 times this year. A sheriff's deputy noted that the vehicle in question was seen rocking. It was around 12:45 a.m. When the cop looked inside the auto, he spotted Theodore Morgavan, 55, having sex with a stuffed animal. Morgavan, a divorced father of 3, lives about a mile away from the storage facility in Midway. Why?
Well, this whole story is...
He's divorced. He's not living with his family. Why did he have to go to the car to have sex with the stuffed animal? This is him. Look.
Oh,
That's
this
him.
poor guy. Look at him. He looks like the type. But, you know, this whole town
Looks
is
like
full,
the type?
Yeah, the whole town is full of fuck-ups. 16 times that place gets broken into, and the sleuth can only find a guy fucking a stuffed animal. This is the best they can
there
do.
goes the Morgan van.
They can't find a thief, but they can find...
Can I just ask, what is the crime here? Why is that a crime? I mean, I know it's bizarre, and I'm not endorsing it,
Okay,
but
to some extent, there must be public indecency.
it's 1 a.m. He's in his car.
Was
He's
it
having
his stuffed animal? Was it someone else's? Like a stolen stuffed animal?
with a blue
I don't think this reflects well on
Circus
the police.
elephant or something. Who knows?
It doesn't reflect well on Morgavan or the police.
The fall of the house of Morgan Van.
Yeah, you would just if you were the cop, you would say, "Would you do me a favor? Would you just go home? Would
Yeah.
you do that somewhere else. You know, I'm on a stakeout looking for a thief, and you're busy porking a teddy bear."
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is this is a wonderful new segment you've developed, Spike. This is really...
Did you see the latest?
This week in Zuckerman News, story number 3. October 13, Dateline. A funeral home worker responsible for transporting dead bodies in Nebraska County is suspected of having an intimate encounter with a life-size sex doll he found in the apartment of a deceased person.
Is this the same guy?
No, this is the guy who looks like him. Look at him.
He looks
All
like
right, listen to the
too.
details of the story. Investigators say Ryan Smith, 41, younger, and a colleague were dispatched last week to a home at the Rock Creek Apartments in Omaha to collect the body of an individual who had died. Near the body on the bed was a very real life-size sex doll.
Oh, like one of those Japanese dolls?
I don't know. It's just a life-size
You
sex
tell us,
doll, a
leave it.
real doll. Was that part of your swinging years too?
No.
Police allege that Smith subsequently called the property manager. This is the part I knew you would love, is his little con to get back in. Called the property manager and claimed that the local sheriff had asked him to remove the sex doll to collect swabs for a biopsy. None of
That
this
was a red flag.
A biopsy. Smith's strange request was denied by No, you're not going to do that. I want the doll.
from the sex doll.
We shared it. That's apartment property.
But Smith later returned to the apartment. The manager later returned to the apartment to discover that Smith was inside the unit, which had been locked with a deadbolt and a chain. So the landlord goes back. This nut job is in there, Ryan Smith. After Smith exited the home with his shirt untucked and his pants in disarray.
Rudy. So very Rudy Giuliani.
The property manager called the cops, again, why, who later busted Smith on felony burglary charge for a guy who's dead. A post-arrest examination revealed the sex doll to be sticky, and it appeared that something had rubbed her inner thighs, police noted.
I mean,
a deputy collected the sex doll so that it could have her processed for DNA. Why is it referring to it as a person?
this is one hell of a sex doll. I got to see this thing.
This is so strange, Ferristan. He looks.
Look at him.
You guys got to look this guy up.
He looks like a wrestling coach.
Yeah, he looks like he works at Subway. He moonlights at the morgue, and then he's a sex doll rapist.
Keep the cannoli.
Take the cannoli.
Take the cannoli.
Doll rapist.
Kind of fucking person is going to molest someone else's
not
dead guy's sex doll?
But he had to go back and lie.
You think he went into the fridge too? God, I'm thirsty. Let me have some dead guy juice, and then I'm going to have...
Why? But the excuse is so bad. He could have just said there are more things that we need.
Yes.
We have the body. We need clothes. Just something.
A biopsy.
I think the landlord also had a crush on the sex
That's what
doll.
I'm saying. I want to see this doll.
Yeah, there's something going on
I think
there.
what we need to do is after we do a podcast from Hitler's childhood home, we need to go to these towns and we need to podcast from these towns and try to find a spokesperson from the sheriff's office.
From the toy store that sold the
Yeah.
stuffed animal.
There are some that say Blue Chew is to blame for all of this. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex, guys. Let's talk about sex with stuffed animals. Let's talk about sex with other dead guys, real dolls. Remember the days?
What if he was on Blue Chew?
What if he definitely was? Now you can increase your performance like our friend Ryan Smith.
Or Morgavan,
Or Morgavan,
who was making the car rock.
who's making the car rock
The teddy bear.
because he took Blue Chew in chewable form at a fraction of the cost. You too can take them anytime, day or night, 12:45 near a storage facility. So plan ahead. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of your licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription. And I've said before, I've taken this meeting, and those medical providers, licensed doctors, are beautiful young women.
A beautiful young sex doll.
Now they'll just put a sex doll or a stuffed animal out there. Do you want to have sex with this? Take our pills.
Picturing this sex doll
You go to
holding
the
a stuffed
carnival.
animal.
You go to the carnival. I am going to knock over those milk bottles because I need that stuffed animal. If I don't get that weird green thing that made in China,
Why are you playing so much ring toss? I've got to fuck that red wolf. Put your Blue Chew down.
That's the kid's college tuition.
This could be the end of Blue Chew. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the U.S.
Could be the end of the show.
Prepared and shipped directly to your door. And as you know, we are Blue Chew drug kingpins, and you guys have overperformed. If you haven't gone there, it's free, man. Try Blue Chew for free with promo code Spike911. You just pay for the shipping, which is $5. That's free Blue Chew Promo code Spike911 to get your free first month of Blue Chew.
Don't let us down.
Don't let us down.
Let us down.
Don't let the air out of our doll.
They didn't. Apparently, everybody last ad went bonk. They went crazy. Dear Zuckerman made that funny thing of you like a Pac-Man.
The Zuckman, yeah.
And the Blue Chew people went wild.
Don't let the sex dolls down.
We'll see what happens this week.
Can't wait.
All right, we should probably talk about cars some more.
No, why?
What are you driving, Johnny?
Well, I'm driving my own truck. Nothing.
You haven't driven anything lately? Anything wonderful?
No, not in a couple weeks. I just haven't. It's one of those. Just I don't know. Just didn't schedule anything. Everything's busy. I've reserved a Sterrato, so I have a Lamborghini Sterrato coming.
Ooh, they're not responding to me. I don't know what I did to them.
Oh, weird. I don't know.
I know.
Huh.
Didn't you say the rep was in Europe and coming back?
Yeah, I texted her today and I said, "Hey, how about a Sterrato?" She said, "Sure."
Ask her why she hates me.
I will.
I have so many folks that would like to see the Lamborghinis. If kids of a certain age go crazy for Lamborghinis, and of course when I see the dads at some sort of school function or something,
You really
hey,
want
when you get a Lamborghini, will you call me? The kids want to come over, and I really want to do that for them.
Okay.
I don't know if that's enough of a reason.
It should be enough. Yeah, it should be enough.
I hit up Ford a minute ago on the way here because this is my last press car too. It does quiet down this time of year. I have a Triumph, not a Triumph, a Ducati Scrambler, full throttle.
Looks cool.
Flat tracker motorcycle deal that I've only ridden once through the neighborhood, but boy, is it nice. Those Scramblers are just, I've been riding on some very high horsepower things, and then when you go from that onto this, and it just starts up, and then you just drive it, and it's got a little more kick than the other Scramblers. Wow. Zuckerman, you would love this bike. It's one of those bikes. That's why I like these Ducatis and these BMW motorcycles. They're instantly friendly. They're instantly your buddies. And when you get on it, you ride it, you just want to keep riding all the time. All the time. I should let you ride it.
I would drive. I can drive. I rode many
You'll
years
like it.
and many miles.
Yeah, just take a little.
I'll go around the block.
A little ride around the block. There are a couple girls who are doing an all-electric cake ride from New York to L.A.
Yeah.
Did you see that? They're coming on the show. I immediately called the cake guys and said, have those girls come on the show.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that is like from New York to L.A. on those bikes. With what
it's going to take 30 days because they go 100 miles and go.
Yeah,
it takes 3 hours to charge though, so it's not bad.
3 hours.
I think it's to fully charge up. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I want to know. I want to know what they went through to get those bikes.
Unless they have, I don't know if there's a way to do like level 2, but I think they're riding the OSA, which is the.
No, I think they had cocks.
Oh yeah, okay.
What? Calks. They had cocks. Calks, corks, Lufgekurz. Jamesy and I took our bikes up. We're having these beautiful, warm summer days finally here in LA, and we went up to the hiking path, stayed off the mountain bike trail. Did go down to see where I crashed. I wanted to have a look at that. I sent you the picture, right? And now I can see how I survived that one. There was a bigger gap than I thought between the two upright jumps, so I fell in between. But we had an amazing ride all the way up to Mountain Gate.
Wow!
And then into that housing, through some beautiful houses that had tennis courts, little private area up there. It's dead quiet, and then it goes, I think, all the way up towards the Nike tower. You know where the missile towers are? The Nike missile. Fantastic!
They're way up
what
there.
A place! What a place!
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And you're pinching yourself, going, I can't believe I just left my house a minute ago, and I'm up here bopping around.
Yep.
I still haven't mastered the wheelie yet, but I'm watching the videos.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea, my old friend.
I looped it once on the wheelie bike that we have, and I fell on my ass. What does Richard want?
I think he wants
If
more
they could have
grapes.
beaten-
I'm feeding him
What?
your grapes. by
I
the
said,
way.
Those grapes, I think, are weeks old. And they really
say anything.
are.
Don't say
They're
anything.
turning into raisins in the fridge.
I said to Richard, I go, what grade are you in? He goes, I don't have to tell you about my life. That's what he said. That's pretty good, right, Zuckerman?
He's either going to be a great success or a serial killer.
What's going on with you car-wise? Now, look, you and I, are you going to drive the GT4 RS?
You know what? I am going to drive that car. I
Yeah.
wonder if I'm going to drive that car this weekend.
Do it.
Yes.
Because I'm taking it on Jay Leno's garage a week from today.
Okay.
And we're
I
going
got to get some wheel time. If I can get up early and get on the road when no one's going to be around, I really do want to get some stick time. And if I'm going out to Malibu, I'd love to be able to go up and down the canyons in it. And
You
tear
should.
it up.
Drive it, get it back in there. We'll get it cleaned up, and then I'm going to take it on the show and talk about it on our behalf.
Which car is this?
GT4 RS.
Ooh,
this Friday.
Nice.
A welcome break in my crazy writing week. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. And I say this, though, because I got a picture of our car
Oh, yeah.
at the Sonder Wunschens. What do they call that?
Special
zone?
wishes.
CXX.
Yes, where they're making...
It's sitting there right now. I won't describe the picture. We shouldn't describe the picture, but you saw
It's amazing.
the emblem and the color. And this morning it was sent to us.
And it's
just out of the
rapper.
blue. Mike from Clearwater Porsche said, "Do you want to see a picture I just got of your car sitting?" And I said, "Nah." Yes, all caps. And sent it to you, sent it to Jerry, and all of us were like, "Oh!" And it has all the wrapping on it, all that white wrapping, and just a little color pop that you could see. It didn't have
On the side.
the right wheels on it yet, and the other stuff. But
This car is going to kill.
it made you crazy, right?
Yes, I'm really looking forward.
But that means it's coming soon.
What, 2 months?
No, I think it's here before Christmas. I think it could be here for Thanksgiving.
Whoa.
Maybe. Hopefully not. I feel like I mean, what? I've driven the 4RS twice.
I've driven it once.
We might have to get some other Plan Zers into these things so we keep both these things around. I don't know.
Not a bad idea. Who can we hit up? Who has dough? Lieberman?
No, I got no dough.
You got no dough?
Moise would ruin
I'm
these
doughless.
cars.
No Moise.
Moise
He hates
is,
the backup camera.
Yeah.
he's aged out of Plan Z.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome.
These cars are so great.
They're going to
And
be
then the
so
ST
good.
is like on its coming too.
We got a lot coming in. I better get busy. I better print some money.
Yes, that's what I'm focused on. We're just like David Beckham. Look at us.
Squandering our money.
Squandering our money, selling our wives stories about how much money we'll make when we sell these cars.
These are investments, honey. Don't you
investments.
understand? Buy high, sell low. That's really the secret. You know what I'm saying?
And I've decided to follow through on the sale of the Volkswagen Beetle to clear the path from these other things.
Really?
And I chatted with several auction houses and friends, but in the end, I had a nice exchange with Randy Nonnenberg at Bring a Trailer, and I thought that would be the most fun to sell that car on Bring a Trailer.
Best comments.
Great, we love that community. I think they're going to put it out to the most amount of people, and it's not a very serious car, so it'll be a lot of fun to have it there. It was on Jay Leno's Garage. It was on Car Matchmaker with me. It was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. It served as an official police car from 79 to 91 in Würzburg, Germany. I believe it began its life as a Mexican Beetle. It was immediately shipped over there. Speaking of cigarettes, cigarette burns in the seats from the cops sitting there. I put
Stakeouts.
2 little seat belts in the back, perfect new old stock seat belts that match the year, so you can put your kids in the back. And the Telefunken radio and PA works, and the lights and the sirens and everything. So as you're pulling up, you can yell. You can yell in traffic. Move to the right. You can yell. You can sit at stop signs like I do and pretend to pull people over. But I've had that car for 10 years, and the
Is it
kids
10 years now?
10 years. Can you believe that?
No, I remember when you got it.
I know, it's crazy, but it has been. It's sitting there, and I refreshed it, and we
It's time.
We used the Hungarian to get it smogged in the state of California.
Nice.
And I don't know how that happened, but I don't think you can register it in the state of California.
It will
It's
be
weird
difficult.
that I showed up at my hangar one day, and it just had a license plate and stickers. I don't know how that happened. I have plausible deniability in how that happened,
yeah.
but it won't happen to you. You'll have to take it out of California if you want to drive it legally. But it is
Well, it's 79. It might have aged out. It might be all right.
nope.
No?
It's the VIN numbers
Yeah,
that don't.
yeah.
Oh, it was never federalized or whatever.
Yeah, it's got-
But you know what's kind of cool about it is every once in a while and this happened in my neighborhood. This woman is walking down the street and she saw it in the driveway. She goes, "My God, is that a Würzburg German police beetle? I know those cars." And she was from Germany.
Did she click her heels?
No.
Throw her arm up?
She said, "What is your last name?
Jewel?
Show me your nose again." No.
Don't be touching the glass.
Oh,
What's that kid doing in there?
Richard.
That's a grapevine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
what is he doing? Oh,
Oh,
whatever.
brother.
It's all right. He's just grinding them into
guess-
your white carpet.
I know. I'll
But-
just depreciate the house another $10,000. One more visit.
They actually make die-cast models of this car.
Yeah.
And I had a couple extra ones. Folks have sent them me over there, and I gave one to her, and she cried. She goes, "This was such a big part of my childhood, seeing these cars." Isn't that sweet?
That is a nice story,
Isn't that
Ferguson.
nice?
You have a little gerbil heart, after all.
I'm not saying it to self-aggrandize myself. I'm just saying, again, cars are emotional for people.
Spread
and this,
joy.
This brought her childhood back, and it can bring yours. I don't know when we're putting it up, but hopefully before the end of the year, and then we'll convert
We
it
have to
into some new
decide
stuff.
about that 82, which is such a lovely Targa.
What, the Targa?
Yeah, but we don't drive it enough. But I don't
I
drive
think
so many things enough.
here's what's up. So after I'm done with the Subaru Outback, I don't think my car or
Oh,
Jack's
perfect.
car is being built for a month. So I need to daily something in one of our collections.
This is the perfect seat car for the season.
Yeah. What? The Targa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to put a lot of miles
Well,
on
don't
it.
put the miles, but then you'll drive anything you want. I got
Yeah,
plenty
yeah.
of stuff that needs to be driven.
Oh,
right now.
perfect. I was thinking one of the big 4-door BMWs
You got
might be
to,
fun.
but you got to go through them all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
this
very
is
nice
catch
of
up
you.
on your BMW.
So real quick, I go, "Richard, why would you do that?" He's dropping the grape stems on the carpet. He goes, "It's funny. I want Zuckerman to die."
Well, if one of us has to die, I have a feeling I know which one.
He has a sitcom producer. This would be a great show. Zuckerman and Richard.
Oh God.
In Thunderdome. two go in, one comes out.
What do you mean Johnny Lieberman and his wife died in a Morgan three-wheeler accident and they left Richard to me? You're going to live at Baldwin Hills with Zuckerman. Yay!
Perfect. Right.
What do you mean? Show me the will. And that's where our show begins. That is the situation in the situation comedy.
This is excellent, and I'm horrified.
And then Rufus.
It's Zuckerman, Richard, and Rufus. Richie and Rufus.
That's the name of the show. Zuckerman, Richard, and Rufus.
Coming to TV land this fall.
That's right.
Oh, Zuckerman. That's our show. That's our show. That was
That's
a
a
fine
great
show. We launched a new segment. We introduced our new announcer. And in a minute, you're going to hear his outro. Listen to that motorcycle.
We've added sex doll rapist to the lexicon.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
I get very nervous when people use that word.
It's a horrible word. We might have to cut it out.
No, it's
But it's about a sex doll.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that we don't endorse things like that or think it's funny. But
Yeah, poor sex doll.
when it involves a sex doll, it kind of is humorous. We'll see you next week on Spike's Car Radio.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday and be sure to subscribe. Now, I'm gonna take a nap.